All right, hello everybody. I'm here at day 2 at AAMI Exchange 2026 in Denver, Colorado. And I'm here with one of our fellows, our new inductee fellows for the class of 2026, Don Armstrong. Don, you're a longtime AAMI member, you're a longtime HTM professional,
Yeah,
everything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And we're just going to explore a little bit about your career. But before we dive into that, how are you enjoying Exchange so far?
This is my 20th in a row. I
Okay.
haven't missed one since 2007, including the ones during COVID, where I got to know Robert and Daniela pretty damn good watching
Yeah.
them on the screen. But this is just an event I cross off every year and make sure that I'm available to come. Whether my company or my hospital is going to pay for it or not, I am here. Um,
Love
it's
to hear
a
that.
it's a networking event that is unsurpassed by anything we could do as an HCM professional. Um, Created a lot of friends here, created a lot of great work colleagues. I'm an Amy guy through and through, so I love seeing my Amy people over all these years, and I've been very blessed to be part of it and actually contribute to it. And the fellow that I was appointed yesterday was one of the biggest and most meaningful accomplishments in my career so far.
It's
So I'm just over the moon, of course, about it. So
It's very much deserved.
thank you.
I had at least the pleasure of being able to write your award bio, and I'm going through it. I'm like, man, this guy has done a lot. How am I going to cram it into 200 words?
Well, 43 years buys you something, right?
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. But I love that you had mentioned AAMI Exchange Rewired, which was the
Yeah.
online, the one year we had to do it online during COVID-19. That was my indoctoral year
Oh,
for
wow.
AAMI, right?
Wow.
And I was not expecting to see this community come so together for, at the time, felt like it was going to be a glorified Zoom meeting. It was not. And
No.
like you said, we got to meet a lot of people. And then
Yeah.
the year right after, everybody came back.
Well,
And I got to see this community.
it just showed kind of our resilience too as a community that people were willing to log on to, like I said, a glorified Zoom call, and I actually presented on both years too. So it was
Yeah.
kind of
Well, thank you for that.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of really showed like what we can accomplish if we really needed to. If this was going to be long term, we knew that we could stay connected as a community. It wasn't easy because some of us were going into a hospital, some of us were having to stay out. Workforce kind of got jostled around so much because some hospitals didn't have a whole lot of patients in there, and some hospitals were overwhelmed.
Completely inundated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was just an amazing microcosm of what Amy was doing for what all of the HCM professionals were feeling. So again, it's just another great cog in our profession that we actually came through, and we're able to motate through it. And that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. We were kind of actually got to persevere through that and stay together. Stay together,
Yeah.
and also we really identified some amazing new people. I mean, Danielle McGarry kind of came on board, and to see them stay with it during those conferences was amazing.
There's a saying in the scientific communities that some of the most resilient scientists are farmers
Oh, yeah,
because they constantly have to deal with seasonal change.
yeah,
I am going to say that on the I guess the engineering side and the healthcare side, it's got to be the HCM community.
wow.
There's so much change that you all go through constantly, and you're so resilient as a community in general. It's
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's an amazing profession. I'm married to a nurse, so their profession also is resilient, and they're always learning new stuff, and they're dealing with a lot different stuff than we do as HTM professionals. So thank goodness we're there to support that profession as well. But yeah, we see the stuff before it even gets put on a patient, new stuff that we've never even heard of before. And so we have to grow, and we have to be flexible, and we have to be adaptable, and thank goodness we are. So,
yeah.
and having a conference like this and a community like this really helps.
Oh yeah.
It is the help.
And that defines what an AAMI fellow is. So for those who don't understand what you've accomplished, I think that's a really good example. It's not just a BMET who knows what they're doing and can do a great job and move from facility to facility and
Yeah,
improve things, but also somebody who comes together with the rest of the community and shares knowledge
yeah,
and helps bring everybody forward.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, and
Well,
I want to
thank
talk a
you.
little bit about it.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. Don, why don't you walk me a little bit through your career? How did you get involved in HTM to begin with?
Well, I'm one of those people like, there's a lot of us that kind of didn't know about this profession before we started. I was not a college-bound kid out of high school. Grew up in kind of a small rural community out in Northern California, uh, ranches and farms and, things like that.
Right.
Industry and stuff like that. So I graduated high school and got a job as an apprentice carpenter.
Oh, no
Actually,
kidding.
kind of a coveted position for someone that wasn't going to go to college, and worked as an apprentice carpenter for about 2 years. And uh, truth be told, I was probably the worst carpenter that's ever been born. And I had a pretty bad industrial accident. One work day, I fell off of a scaffolding off of a roofing job we were doing, and hurt my arm and hurt my wrist, and
Oh,
was laid up for about a year. And during that year, and this is probably 1981, 2 years out of high school, and right about that time, the technology boom was happening in Silicon Valley, and they were advertising a bunch of tech schools, electronic tech schools, and I
oh,
was
yeah.
laid up nursing my injuries and stuff like that. So I was watching the TV, and I decided at that point I'm just going to go ahead and take get one of these electronics degrees and see where this leads me. I don't really have. I can go back to construction if I want to, but I really
Sure.
didn't want to, being that I was terrible at it. And went ahead and went to a 2-year electronics degree program, which I really kind of gleaned onto it. I liked it. I didn't know where it was going to take me, but um, the college I went to had a placement program. They were placing all the smart kids went to the computer companies like Texas Instruments was big then. Hewlett Packard was big, and I got hired by a small medical company out of Oakland that installed small EKG systems and still working on mercury manometers and stuff like that. And they needed another tech to help their company out, so they hired me right out of college. And it was a great way to learn. I learned from a 75-year-old man that had been doing this for his whole life, working on equipment, and he taught me the value of customer service and relationship building, and
Yeah.
about not having to be the greatest technician in the world to know how to get things done and make an impact. I worked in that company for about 2 years, still not knowing what a biomed was.
No kidding. Here
Knowing,
you
yeah,
are doing
no,
basically biomed
yeah,
servicing.
we were just working on small doctors' offices, vet clinics, all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And graduated, I got an offer from a bigger company in South San Francisco. They worked on ventilators and anesthesia machines, so I made a jump, for my career. And at that point, it wasn't money jump. It was just they were working on a little higher end equipment. Did that for about a year and a half. Learned anesthesia, learned ventilators. Then, as fate would have it, one of our contracts was working on the anesthesia machines at Stanford University Hospital.
Very cool.
A lot of people that know me know that I'll talk about that a lot. But I was working on the anesthesia machines overnight in the operating rooms, and the head of biomed at that point came down and saw me working on the anesthesia machines and asked me what I was doing and what company I worked for. And she asked me if I wanted to come over and work at Stanford as a biomed. And I said, "What's a biomed?" And she goes, "They're in-house people that do exactly what you do." So that was in 1984, and I had been working as a biomed ever since.
It's funny because I still hear stories like this today. There's
Hmm.
not a lot of industries where we have people being just hired on the spot. But I can see the HTM community, you have to have the right mindset.
Yeah.
So that the people who are doing the hiring have to recognize that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely right. And believe me, it was a godsend, because I mean, she might not have even walked by me that day and saw me
sure.
working the anesthesia machine, and I don't get this kind of field. And it just from then on, I kind of started looking at it and started looking around at the hospitals, and I'd spent some time in hospitals with grandparents and parents, and even my own stay when I got hurt. Was looking at the piece of equipment, never even thinking who manages these things.
Right. Yeah.
Who repairs them when they go down? Do they ever go down? I guess maybe just thought they never broke, and now knowing what the field is like, it's an incredible field. I mean, it's just incredible profession to use your technical skills and be part of a clinical team and use I mean, for me, I'm very lucky because I'm a pretty outgoing guy.
Yeah.
So I love relationship building, and so the equipment and the people around them is what drives me.
Oh, I love to hear that. Now, we've been obviously seeing a lot of change in the industry,
Yeah.
whether it be, I don't know, robotic surgical devices or now AI implementation. What advice do you have for maybe HTM professionals, even just starting out or continuing their career? How can they stay adaptive?
Well, I'm gonna throw a term out there that I use a lot, and forgive me, everybody who knows me, I say this a lot, and I steal it from Friday Night Lights. It's clear eyes, full hearts can't lose.
Yeah.
You guys got to keep your eyes open and your ears open and your heart open to anything that can change. It's scary sometimes to think about things, but because I'm 65 years old. I've been in this industry for 43 years. It'd be really easy for me to say that's not the way we've done it before.
Sure.
This is always the way we've done it. We could keep doing it that way, but hopefully people that come to conferences like this and other conferences that are like this, they know that they got to keep learning, continuously learning, and that I hold all the certifications that I can with AAMI. That's just a matter of trying to keep up with the technology and try to keep up with learning. Started in the OR at probably about 1986, so I've seen all the changes in surgery, from going from no laparoscopic surgery to almost everything's laparoscopic or possible, or no robotics, no video, no integration, to all of it's integrated. Now a lot of it's video, and it just was like, well, it's either and the truth of it is either you get on board or you get left behind.
Mm.
So you kind of almost like you kind of have to,
Yeah.
but it's also you could just embrace it. And why not embrace it? Why not grow with it? It's so interesting. It's so much fun to learn it. And also, we could learn alongside the other people that are learning it. It's not like they know it and now we got to catch up. We could be on that leading edge with it too. I was very fortunate being a surgeon when laparoscopic surgery started, so I know how all that stuff works.
Right.
Not just have to be taught how it works. I know how it works. And the people that I could train and mentor, I could explain to them why we do it, why this is so important and innovative, even to this day. I mean, I know we were talking earlier about family members that have had surgery and procedures with this new innovation, how impressive it is to think that years ago that would have been a complete open procedure.
Yeah.
Or they would have spent weeks in the hospital. When I had that industrial accident, I broke my arm, I was in the hospital for 10 days.
No kidding. That seems so long.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
elbow, just had to repair my elbow. That would have that you would be in and out of there the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just so yeah, all the stuff that's coming up, AI, robotics, all that's just so interesting and exciting. And I'm banking on our new leaders and emerging leaders or emerging biomists to just jump on that and embrace it.
Yeah, one of the things I'm encouraged by is the conversations here aren't just shake your pom poms or give down votes. It's, hey, let's not just embrace this, but get involved in understanding it and helping shape how our leaders at our hospitals are adopting it.
Yeah,
Because it has to be done the right way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just in a session a few minutes ago, anyways, talking about the adoption of AI when it comes to biomed, HTM, the impact on biomed, and it's really true that our clinical partners and the administrative and the supply chain, they're already using it.
Yeah.
So and so are a lot of our biomed departments out there. They're already using it too, but it's just that still, how do we adapt it? AI can't replace a part. AI really can't do a PM. AI could help, but it could help us predict some things
Right. Right.
and analyze some stuff. So use it for what it is. It's not going to replace us at any time. Robots have not replaced surgeons. Laparoscopic surgeries have not made surgeries go away. It's just made them better. It's made it more efficient. So embracing all this new stuff is just really important for all of us to do. And we're doing it. We're doing a pretty good job of it, I think.
Yeah.
There's no resistance. I don't think. Maybe there was resistance before, but not as much as you would. I think the friction is kind of gone.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about, that this is both a adaptive and a resilient community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Don, thank you for taking the time
Oh,
to
of
share
course.
your story, and I'd love to see you here at AAMI Exchange. Maybe another 20 years.
I'm hoping so. If I'm around to do it, I will do it. And believe me, I love this AAMI community. I mean, I just do. I love the HTM community. I tell everybody that will listen, I've loved every second of doing this. I met my wife in the hospital. I have almost everything. Everything I have is due to this profession. So I couldn't be a bigger. And again, there's ups and downs, and I'm not just I'm not. My head isn't stuck in the sand. But again, as a profession, I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Donald Armstrong, class of 2026, AAMI Fellow. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.